At the 2025 Leaders Summit in The Hague, Donald Trump was fed up with Western Europe, urging governments not to take US military protection for granted, telling them to spend more on defence and become more self-sufficient. Russia's invasion of Ukraine had already concentrated minds. Moscow had been labelled by NATO as its biggest threat, and the US said Europe needed to do more to help Kyiv. But getting everyone on board with the new spending hike has not been easy. NATO's chief is still having to smooth things over with Trump.
I sensed his disappointment about the fact that he felt that too many allies were not with him. And I explained to him yesterday, I said, hey, Mr. President, clearly the overwhelming majority of Europeans have done what the US asked of him and what was previously agreed in these circumstances. And yes, sometimes it takes a bit of time, but hey, guess what? We have coalitions in Europe, we have sometimes the political home front to take care of, sometimes it takes a couple of days, but then we pull together.
Before the 5% pledge was made, only 2 countries were spending more than 4% of GDP on defence, Poland and Lithuania. Both border Russia. The United States was the 6th highest spender with 3.32%, although it contributes substantially in areas such as NATO's operational costs and provides much of Europe's nuclear umbrella. Turkey was 13th out of 32 members, with 2.33%. 7 countries were only just hitting the minimum spending target of 2%, although many have revised their policies significantly since then.
The problem is not just about the spending money. It's also about what are the main threat for that a country in NATO members. And some of them is directly threatened by Russia, and some of them directly threatened from the North Africa, maybe the immigration. So every country's priorities is different, and security threats are different.
And that's not the only problem. There are new types of warfare to deal with: drones targeting commercial ships, attacks on undersea cables, and increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks. This is Aselsan, one of the most well-known defence companies in Turkey. It's also the 5th most valuable defence company in Europe, based on its total value on the stock market. It specialises in making electronic systems for use in the military, and it's businesses like these that may have to take on a larger role if these defence targets are to be met. Aselsan got the seal of approval from Mark Rutte when he visited earlier this year. He described the Turkish defence industry as an example to the rest of NATO. But some European states are reluctant to buy Turkish products because of political differences. And despite huge progress in the sector and the Turkish president's call for greater cooperation.
As Turkey, we particularly advocate for fair burden sharing and the strengthening of European security. We are an ally that commands and manages the 2nd largest land army in NATO. While continuously improving our country's defence capabilities, we also contribute to the deterrence of the alliance. We attach importance to strengthening the defence industry across the alliance.
At this year's summit, leaders will face the challenge of balancing competing priorities, overcoming political differences, and keeping the US president happy, all while making sure NATO is fit to face future challenges. Andrew Hopkins, TRT World, Ankara.